Let me start with you, Alhaji Malam,
Captain.
rather Captain.
Captain Aliyu.
You know, in the tribe, we will call him Alhaji Umar Aliyu.
Exactly.
But it's all right, still Captain Aliyu, just for official purposes. Now that we've looked at this scenario, we've seen what is happening in Lagos with the governor has shown just gave us just enough a dose of that what is happening. How would you relate what is happening in Surulere as to what is happening in Alimosho or in Anthony Village?
Yes, I begin to wonder what exactly the, the flaw is other than administrative. Because you just saw the governor there, everything was looking quite calm and homely, and you saw the governor taking the cue. There wasn't any ceremony. In fact, you didn't even see any security operatives milling around. And he was there with...
Does that mean there wasn't any? Tell us,
no,
security operative.
the fact that you didn't see a crowd around him doesn't mean there wasn't any. Doesn't mean there wasn't any. There could be security. And what some people tend to misunderstand it. Security around very important personalities is better and more effective when it is low profile than when it is very loud. I don't know, permit me to digress. Have you seen the United States president moving before? If you saw a lot of people around him, maybe 2 or 3, but you're going to see a radius around him where there's just no one. So that makes it very difficult for anybody to do anything. Anyway, let's continue. And when you see what is happening where the governor is, and you see a persistence of what is happening at Anthony and the other place, you begin to become curious. I really don't think it has to do with, say maybe the facility for voting is not available. I won't accept there is no vehicle to get us to our place. I believe if you had left Ibadan this morning, you should be getting to your polling station by now. The roads are free. I won't accept someone telling me he did not know what his task was pre now. There must be a reason why an entire team will drop off the radar up to this time. We are already way into the election day. We are 15:09 right now, and by 1700 we should be rounding up.
Yeah.
So somebody either from the INEC situation...
That's 5 p.m.
Exactly.
Let's break it down
sorry,
for those
oh, very sorry about that.
No, we use the same time, so that's why I understand.
Okay.
So 1700, that's 5 p.m.
Yes, indeed. So somebody from the INEC situation room should do some damage control and win confidence by coming out through any of the widely circulated media, online media now, not print, and say this is the situation with team XYZ. This is why they have not been able to show up. The reason is simple. In this kind of situations, if you greet it with silence, you're going to water or fuel people's suspicions. But if you come out and say something, at least that suffices until such a time when you get to the bottom of the matter. Say this is what happened. And let's not forget, the people are still there waiting to, to execute.
Do you feel that within the time frame that Tahir Jega, the INEC boss, gave 48 hours before results are announced, we're still within that time frame? Do you see this happening?
No. Based on the brief and based on what we have been able to see within this 6 weeks extension, one accepted to a high degree that some T's were crossed and some I's were dotted. Yes, we're going to give a certain degree of deviation. You know, we're going to allow for some degree of deviation, but not to this, what I call basic nitty-gritty levels. What could keep an entire polling station off the radar? Is it that they forgot the way to the polling station? Or is it that, I don't know, one entire team, if 2, 3 people were absent from the team, I could say, okay, maybe something came up that, but an entire team, I don't think it's a bit worrying. And particularly why it's worrying for me is I know that some of these teams have my babies there, the coppers. So what's happening? We need to hear from somebody. it's good damage control tactic and policy to actually answer the questions before people start asking. And for now, it's silence anyway, so it's not going to help anybody, both sides of the divide.
Interesting. Gigi, what are your immediate thoughts?
As is said, it's important that there is constant dialogue between INEC and the Nigerian people as this exercise is going on. Because in those voting districts, in those areas where Nigerian citizens cannot vote or they cannot see INEC officials coming forward to enable them vote, they will be wondering, they will be at a loss as to what is actually going on. So, apart from communicating with them and giving them the assurance that they're part of the Nigerian people who are participating in this process, they need to, by the same process, give them an advisory somewhat, so that those people can know exactly what they have to do. For example, if these will be voters, wait out the entirety of today in the polling stations. And as it is said in the aviation circle or parlance, no show. Because if you are supposed to board a plane and you are not available, you say no show. And so these people do not come. They will be so angry, you know, and exasperated, so that even if you say come tomorrow, their confidence will have waned considerably. And they will be wondering, what is the assurance that if we go there tomorrow, we'll be able to cast our vote? So they need to reach out to those people immediately. And it's not going, it shouldn't be, it's an emergency situation. There's a state INEC office in Lagos here. And so just as we are discussing these, they need to ask the questions. The people who send out on this mission to these areas, where are they? You know, where are they? Why didn't they show up? Or was it that we overlooked this district while we are planning to deploy our staff and our officers? This is very important. And so INEC should be concerned also about its own officials, that either ad hoc or full-time officials, it's INEC officials, and they are running errands for INEC, apart from the larger issue of ensuring that people vote. So they need to be concerned about this, and they need to deal with this quickly. As I've said, as we are inching forward towards the closing of polls, and they need to resolve it one way or the other, so that, but certainly resolve it in favor of allowing people to vote, even if there's an extension of the voting period, even up to tomorrow.
Well, anyway, I think we're circulating. Remember, the hashtag is Nigeria 2015. And, INEC Thompson has been standing there. I actually thought, I kept her waiting. You don't keep a lady waiting too long. I was almost going to come to you, but the hashtag has loads and loads of pictures. If you go to that hashtag, a couple of other pictures from Faith showing the Ondo Governor Olusegun Mimiko being accredited at his Unit 20, Yaba Ward 7 in Ondo Town, and of course so many other pictures you get to see here. Well, as I earlier said, the studio is still very much on. It's non-stop broadcast here in the Nigeria 2015 studio on Channels Television. So Thompson will be back pretty much later to take us through the polls, the materials she's gotten from the polls on poll stream. And this is where we'll be saying many thanks for being such a nice company. You're still going out to cast your ballot to go through the accreditation?
I'll give it another shot.
Another shot. That's the patience and resilience.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
Absolutely.
That's the spirit.
Indeed, that's the spirit.
So we'd like to thank you, G.T. Ogunye. He's a legal practitioner, and Captain Umar Aliyu. Many thanks for your time. And of course, Gimbe, this is where we'll take our own break and let the other team come do their thing. By the way, I understand that the newsroom is set for the news to give us update on